Hello everyone, welcome to Stractify. Stractify is my visual arts channel where I focus on and explore concepts and techniques related to drawing and composition at a foundational level. Stractify, how'd I get that name? Well, Stractify is a short version of Abstractify, and I was playing around and mulling over a bunch of names for this channel, trying to come up with one that I felt worked, that fit, and I liked abstract and versions of abstract. I came up with Abstractify and sort of liked that. So just to be on the safe side, I did a bit of a search to make sure nobody else was using it, and nobody else was using it, but I did see it being used in a number of indirect ways, enough for me to enough to make me go look up some other names and think up some other names. And after doing that for a little bit, I came back to Abstractify, and suddenly I dropped the AB, and suddenly I had Stractify. At first I thought it was an okay name, and then I thought about it some more and I kind of liked it and decided to keep it. I did a double check to make sure nobody else was using it, and I did not see, if I saw anything, it wasn't much to talk about, so I decided to just go with it. And so here we are. Got my channel. It's called Stractify. It's a name that kind of doesn't have much of a meaning to it, and you can sort of make it mean anything you want it to mean. So I sort of like that quality of it, and so that's why I decided to keep it. So the point of this channel is to, like I said, to explore concepts and techniques in drawing and composition. And as the videos progress, as things progress on this channel, I hope to embark on a number of small projects which I'll feature on the channel, and you guys will get to see me apply a lot of these concepts and techniques, and you get to see how they work. You'll get to see me put them to use, and you'll see how they turn out, and hopefully those of you watching will we'll learn something from it. We'll get something out of it. I'm hoping that this channel will be a bit of a resource for a wide range of creative and artistic people, whether they're working adults, whether they're people that are hobbyists, college students, high school students, elementary school students, kids in elementary school, maybe even just somebody who likes to dabble here and there. I'm hoping this will be a place that people can just come to, be entertained, get a little bit of information from, some tips, some tricks, just get some stuff that some of you can use in some of your own creative works and creative projects, or maybe just come here just to be entertained, just to watch and see what happens. Whatever it is you like, I hope this channel does it for you. So I don't think I'm going to be all things to all people. This is not a channel that I'm not trying to be satisfy everybody's needs here, but I hope it's something that most people can enjoy and get something out of. Okay, so that's pretty much what this channel is going to be about. And let me just finish this box real quick, and I'll move on to the next thing. I was hoping if I drew faster, I would have been able to put a few more things on the page. So let me leave that alone for now, and let me move on to this next thing, which will lead directly to me talking about what what's coming next on this channel. So I'll start by drawing this horizontal line. And if you want to follow along, you can pause the video here, and what you'll need is just a sheet of paper like this, a ruler. It's not mandatory. You can just draw it with your free hand if you want to, a pencil or a pen, and that's basically it. And then if you don't want to pause, you can just keep watching. So anyway, here's my horizontal line, which we will label, we'll call a horizon line. Or an HL. And in the videos that are coming up, you're going to see me use this a lot. So after I'm done with this diagram, you can take a screenshot of it, or if you're doing it with me, keep it on hand, and I'm going to refer to this fairly regularly as I move on. All right. So first, I'm going to draw a series of boxes or rectangles. Okay. So I'll start with this sort of squarish rectangle right here. And I'll just color it in real quick. And I'm drawing these rectangles to basically illustrate various positions. I'm drawing them in different positions as they relate to this horizon line. So I have this one under the horizon line, this one on or straddling the horizon line, another one directly on the horizon line, like so, as if it's a bird sitting on a wire, like that. Let me clean that up a little bit. There we go. And then a couple boxes or a couple rectangles hovering or floating above the horizon line. So the horizon line, of course, represents the horizon, but it also represents the eye level of an imaginary person looking at these squares. And then based on the eye level, based on where this person is positioned, he's either seeing these rectangles. He's seeing them either below the horizon line, straddle on the horizon line, sitting on the horizon line, or above the horizon line. What these rectangles represent are basically cubes and boxes, three-dimensional boxes. Which leads me to talk about the series that I'm about to get into right after this introductory video, which is a series on perspective drawing, where I'll be covering 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective. And I do intend to cover those techniques pretty thoroughly. And as a result, I'm going to have to make a lot of the videos in multiple parts, because I'm going to be covering a lot of information in each of the perspective drawing techniques. Okay. Of course, the reasoning for that is because I'm getting thorough, I'm getting kind of detailed. Some of the videos are going to kind of run long. So if I do like a video on just 2-point perspective all at once, that's going to be a really long video, because that's a lot of stuff to cover. So I have to break it up into small bite-sized chunks so that you know, people don't fall asleep or go comatose just trying to watch the whole thing. But I mean, I'm not going to be too worried about that, because I mean, on YouTube these days, people are having like 3, 4, 5, 8-hour live streams, and I don't know, people are tuning in for that. Not doing any live streams yet, but 20 minutes of a video, 30 minutes of a video is not going to kill anybody. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to try and keep the videos relatively short. And in some cases where I really want to get in depth on some issues, some videos are going to run a little longer than expected. And when they do, if you need to take a break, if you need to pause, take a break and come back later, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's understandable. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, we're going to get into perspective drawing. And like I said, these rectangles represent the positions of three-dimensional cubes or boxes in a perspective space. So when you're designing or you're composing a three-dimensional environment in perspective, you're going to have to pay attention to where these boxes are located. Or yes, you'll pay attention to them, but they will take on a certain configuration. They will take on a certain look depending on where they are in that space. So a box that is under the horizon line will look different and take on a different configuration than a box that's above the horizon line. And you'll only see certain parts of that box as a result of that. Okay, and every box in whatever position will look different from the next box. Okay, and yes, I'm talking in terms of boxes and cubes here because that's the foundation of what you're going to be drawing and starting off with in perspective. That might sound kind of uninteresting or maybe even boring, but what I want you to keep in mind is that these boxes and these cubes can become anything you want them to be. So a box or a cube like this can become a piece of furniture, can become a sofa, it can become a table, it can become a bar stool, it can become a mailbox, it can be a phone booth, a photo booth. Those are kind of fun. It can be a car, it can be a spaceship, it can be an inanimate object or an organic object. It can be a rock, it can be a person, an animal, a spaceship, a monster, whatever you want it to be. Learning how to draw these cubes in perspective is key because what these do, as innocuous as they look, what these tend to do is they allow you to place objects in a very specific way in a perspective space, in a three-dimensional space. And so once you come to an understanding of how to draw these cubes and whatnot, it'll open up a lot of stuff for you when it comes to coming up with interesting compositions. Okay, so again, get a screenshot of that, or if you've drawn this already, keep this on hand and have it ready, have it by you when I go through the perspective drawing series, because I'm going to be referring to this a lot. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to go ahead and do a little show and tell, show you some of the stuff you can expect to see in the upcoming videos. So here are a few perspective drawings. Some of the stuff you can expect to learn how to do. So we will do a lot of that kind of stuff. Learning about vanishing points, multiple vanishing points, how to place objects in space. And one thing I want to point out is that I do demonstrations both in black and white, so pencil and pen, and then I also repeat the process in color, so that you, the viewer, can come back and if you miss anything, if there's anything here that confuses you in terms of the construction, you have this backup version to look at and watch, and then you can differentiate the construction lines from the actual final cube or box that I draw. And then of course I'm going to take you through understanding perspective grids, and that will actually help you to really compose and define your spaces in perspective. This is a very useful tool, and I show you several. In each technique, I try to show multiple ways of coming up with a perspective grid. Okay, so we will be learning 2-point, 3-point, 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective techniques. And like I said, I plan to be thorough and in-depth, and so that you get the most out of this series. Okay, at this point, I want to wrap things up, and this is meant to be just a short introductory video, and I'm just hoping that, you know, I plan to have a lot of fun making these. I hope you guys will enjoy them. I'm not going to ask for any subscriptions just yet, because I want to get a few videos under my belt first. I want to get the ball rolling and get a few things posted first before I start asking for any subscriptions. What you can do is you can hit the like button, and you can also leave comments or questions, maybe even suggestions, and maybe have a little conversation down there in the comment section. All I ask is that everybody keep things positive, keep things cordial and civil, and you know, let us use this as a way of just learning from one another. All right, well, thanks for watching my first introductory video to my visual arts channel, Stractify, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Take care.